Air pumps in the fish room. Why do we use them? Water movement, gas exchange, oxygen, filtration. Let's talk about this. Hey, welcome to another video of Ben African Cichlids. Alright, so let's get to it. So, air pump, why do we use them? Well, in the fish room. So, first of all, for filtration. Now, most breeder and people that have fish room will use lots of air pump, or usually one air pump, a big one, to try to run their fish room and keep their costs down by doing filtration with air. Because then you can run air lines through the whole fish room, and if you have a big enough air pump, run tons of filter. Here at Martin's Amazing Fish Room, we use some sponge filters, but that's not the only thing that we use. We also use the Seasham Tidals. The reason being that we breed the Mbuna and Mbunas and also Bristol's Pleco. They're really dirty fish that goes to the washroom a lot, and it gets the tank super dirty super fast. So in order to be able to lower our maintenance a little bit and keep the tanks a little bit cleaner, then we also use the Seasham Tidal, which we're not sponsored, by the way. So anyway, so you'll have your sponge filters here. You need a nice pump for this to have nice airflow through them. You don't want too much airflow, just enough so it sucks in the water. So it sucks in the water through the filter and filters it and bring it back out to the top. Now those kinds of filter, they're good, but mainly for beneficial bacteria, because they cannot suck in too much dirt, and they usually don't hold too much dirt unless you go with big coarse sponges, which we don't like to use because the babies are pretty small at the beginning, and we don't want them to be able to get stuck anywhere. So for tanks with smaller fish, we like to use the sponge filter with that are a bit more condensed or less coarse, more fine, I guess. So yeah, that's all about it. So we're not going to put Tidal filters in there or any filters that work with the motor in those tanks. Alright, so let's get to the air pump. So for us, we don't use the big one air pump to run the whole fish room. That's because most of them are really noisy, and if you don't want a noisy one, then they're super expensive. And I'm not going to pay that much for it. So here I'm going to show you the one that we use here, which is still big enough to run multiple tank and quiet enough so that you don't just hear a big rattle through the whole house. So at the early stage of the fish room, and when we just had fish tank all over the house, we used to use Top Fin and Eco Plus, not sponsored by the way. Those, as you can see, they're the exact same pump, just with different manufacturer name on it. So anyway, those are great. They work good. They push good flow. The only trouble is they're a bit loud. So, and then the flow is okay, but not super good. I'll show you here. So here the Top Fin Air 8000. Where does it say the flow on this? It's a 7 watt. We can see it here. 7 watt. I guess I should have googled the flow for you guys, unless it's rated on the other one here. Oh yeah, it is. So yeah, 7 watt and 170 gallon per hour. And here's your air pressure. It's 0.016 MPa. So air pressure and airflow is not too bad in those, but yeah, we upgraded to this potfly, which we find on Amazon. This have great flow. This actually have way better pressure and flow than those one. So remember we were seeing that it was 170 gallon per hour and 0.016 MPa, and this one here is 0.025 MPa, so close to double. And gallon per hour 254, so also double. And they're pretty much the same cost. I think we find this one for like $60 on Amazon. Great deal. So that's our spare one. Well, actually, I have to put that in the bottom row of this Fishroom. Top row I have one, middle row I have one. I want to put the bottom row. We also use it usually when we have the air tumbler hooked up in the tanks. And also, yeah, the air from them makes nice water movement at the top of the tank to keep the tank oxygenated. So anyway, let's open this box and see what's in there. So here you have the instruction, which who needs that, right? So you have a hairline, which is a little bit bigger hairline than the regular tubing that you're going to get usually. And then you have valves here. It comes with 4 valves, so that bigger hairline is going to connect to here, and this on the other side here, those 4 connection here, they're more standard size hairlines. I'll take this cardboard out, this out of here. So yeah, at the bottom of it, you can see again, just 7 watt. So which is great. That means that it's the same that the other pumps, but yeah, way quieter and double pressure. So here you can see you can put 2 different size airline. So that airline that comes with it, you'll just suck it up here. And then the other end, I'm not installing it right now, I'm just showing you very quick. Yeah, so the other end on the valve here, I'll put this together. There we go. I would push it a little bit more than that, but anyway. So now there you go, and then you have to buy this separately. It's your regular tubing there. I forget the size of it. Anyway, so yeah, your regular tubing, and then oh yeah, the neat thing about this pump too. On the other one, you had the dial here to adjust the airflow. This one, you just have a high or low. I run mine all to high all the time there, so it don't restrict the pressure for the pump. The pump have those nice little rubber feet here, so it doesn't make it too loud. And yeah, you'll have a nice flow from it. I'll show you for a second. I'll plug it in, okay? Alright, so I'm gonna plug it in, and then I'll show you all how they are comparison, so like that you can make up your own mind about what you think is the best. So we'll start with the Eco Plus. I'm plugging it in right now. So that's the Eco Plus. A little bit noisy already. And if you crank the air, you can really hear how noisy it is. All of the ports are working. You cannot close any port, so that's the disadvantage of it too. It's you need 4 airline going to it, and then you have to either use all of them or then you'll just have like air noise coming out of it all the time. So yeah, that's it. So that's how loud it is. Now I'll show you the other one. So I'll put this one aside. And I'll show you the pot fly. So I'm plugging it in right now. So this is plugged in. Don't really hear anything, but we have flow. Now I'll hit the switch on high. You can hear it a little bit more if it's on the ground reverse, because now there's no rubber padding for the vibration. Put it on high. It's moving by itself because of the vibration here. Put it on the other side on his feet. You don't hear a noise from the pump itself. The only noise that we hear is just from those valves here. Now we have 4 valves, just like this one. But now you can close and just use whichever one you want, right? You don't need to have all of them working, and of course if you use just one you have tons of airflow. Yeah, so anyway, that's how quiet this pump is. So yeah, you get pretty much double the volume. I'll unplug it right now. See, barely any difference, right? So yeah, pretty much double the volume for the airflow. Give you some nice airflow in those tanks. And there's another bubbler connected to it. So lots and lots of airflow, and double, but way less noise. So I strongly recommend it. Yeah, we have 3 in the room. And the other thing too, it's you know, I have power inverter here. So like that, if we ever miss power here, I can just bring my power inverter in here with a small battery. I get one for the Ryobi. It's in one of my videos here for what you need for power outage. I can link the video behind the description there. But yeah, like if I bring that I think that Ryobi inverter is 150, or you can get the car inverter for a small one too, and it takes, so 150 watt, need like, you know, 14-21 watt to run those 3 pumps, and then during a power outage I can have all those tanks running with the sponge filter here, and get the surface water going, and I'm not going to lose anything, so I can run that for hours, right? So anyway, this is my little intake, my little thing on the pump. Now you can make up your mind, and if you want a more quiet pump, you can go with that Pawfly one. Strongly recommend it.